I've given everything to this family, and yet my own kids, they don't see it. They think I abandoned them. They think I chose sides.
Kody talks about love like it's something he gives equally, but the truth is, it's never been equal. My kids begged for his time, they begged for his attention. They say I'm the reason, they say I came in and ruined this family. But that's not true, that's not fair. I love Kody, I have always loved him.
Secrets have a way of rising to the surface. And when they issue from within a family as public and as divisive as the Browns, they don't just rise, they detonate. For more than a decade, Sister Wives viewers have been drawn into the Brown family's unconventional life. On the surface, it was marketed as a faith, family, and plural marriage trial. But along the way, the series became something much more profound, an unapologetic examination of jealousy, favoritism, shattered trust, and the disintegration of a family that had appeared so impenetrable. And now, viewers are stunned by what could be the most jaw-dropping moment ever. Christine Brown, formerly Kody's third wife and now his loudest ex, has released an insider secret that has left Sister Wives fans shocked, angry, and saddened. Christine didn't just casually comment. She didn't just rant about her frustrations. No, her words were loaded with the weight of truth bombs that fans have long thought but never heard so plainly. She broke down Kody's broken relationship with his kids, a hurt that runs so much deeper than most ever imagined, and how she delivered it. The tone in her voice and the glint in her eye assured viewers that this wasn't television theatrics. This was a woman laying bare the very center of a family in spin. The fans are beginning to wonder about the question nobody wanted to ask. Has Kody Brown lost the kids for good? Consider this. The children were always going to be the glue, the reason this huge, messy family would get through all the problems of plural marriage. The wives could fight. Jealousy can flare. But at the end of it, the children, close to 20 of them, would always make the Browns remain together. Yet Christine's inside scoop has created a chilling image. A father estranged from his own kids, sons openly hating him, daughters abandoned, and a family heritage crumbling in front of everyone's eyes. You and I are now going to read the specifics of Christine's jaw-dropping disclosure. We're going to break down exactly what she said, why it matters, and how it connects to the years of pain, favoritism, and betrayal that fans have witnessed unfold on screen. We'll look at Kody's most explosive moments with his children, the painful rifts that grew during COVID, and the whispers that Christine may be holding back even more secrets than she's revealed so far. And I promise you, after this in-depth, you're going to be looking at the Brown family in a whole new way. This is not reality television anymore. This is the breakdown of a dream sold to millions, the tale of a man who can't keep his household under control, and the heart-wrenching aftermath of years of choices that cannot be taken back. So hang in there with me, because this is not another Sister Wives recap. This is the behind-the-scenes story, the inside scoop, and the jaw-dropping unraveling of a family on the edge of disaster. Beat pause fade into first B-roll montage. Christine walking out on the family, Kody arguing with sons, children appearing hurt or disconnected, Robyn in tears. Increase the emotional tension visually as the voice of the narrator becomes more weighty. Because Christine's insider revelation didn't just stun viewers, but reinforce their worst nightmares. That the Brown family might already be beyond repair. Christine Brown is always such an interesting person in the Sister Wives world. From the beginning, fans sensed something special about her energy, a warmth, a lightness, and a love for her children that was palpable in every moment that passed on screen. Christine was the nurturer for all those years, the one who did so much of the Brown family's emotional heavy lifting. She prepared meals for dozens, tended to boundless children, and laughed through sorrow when jealousy and abandonment started creeping into her marriage with Kody. But behind the smile, Christine was secretly keeping score. She observed the fissures developing, not only in her own relationship with Kody, but between Kody and the children. She was present when promises were not fulfilled, when some of the children were treated differently and made to feel invisible, and when tension started brewing into outright rebellion. And now, for the very first time, Christine is not being reserved. Her behind-the-scenes exposé rocked fans like a freight train. She didn't say it in anger or fury. She said it in the cool candor of one who has finally emerged from the tempest and is now ready to tell the truth. Christine disclosed that Kody's relationship with his kids isn't merely strained. It's coming apart at the seams and heading for complete destruction. The language she used was calculated, and that's why they hit so hard. Christine never said Kody was working through issues with his children. She did not present it as a short-term battle. She said it in a manner that suggested permanence. A split that would never be mended. And viewers took notice. Throughout social media, fans analyzed every word, every pause, every glance in her eyes. When Christine was talking about Kody's absence, about him not putting his kids first, about the emotional space that had increased year by year, it wasn't commentary. It was validation. Fans had been surmising for years that something was seriously amiss in the Brown home. But until Christine said something, most of it was speculation and hearsay. Now, the reality was straight from one who lived it. One woman who shared her life, children, and marriage with Kody for decades. And of all the most daunting aspects of Christine's insider confession wasn't necessarily what she did tell. It was what she left out. Christine is a guarded woman. She realizes the world is listening. So when she teased about the harm between Kody and his kids, she didn't reveal everything. That silence rippled with tension. Immediately, fans wondered, if Christine is so willing to speak this much publicly, how far worse must the truth in private really be? It's the pauses in her words that say the most. The pause before she said Kody's aloofness. The deep breath when she hints at the children being abandoned. These things unsaid reveal more than anything that can be said. And here's when suspense is heightened. Christine's disclosure wasn't only about Kody as a dad, it was about Kody as a man, a leader, and the patriarch of a plural family. By speaking up, Christine dispelled the illusion that Kody was capable of holding it all together, that he was able to manage multiple wives and close to 24 children without fault lines opening up. She revealed the truth, that Kody's efforts at controlling, at leading, and at requiring loyalty have rebounded in the worst way possible, by driving away the very children who were to be his legacy. Consider the significance of that for a moment. In multiple families, kids aren't merely a blessing, they are what keeps the lifestyle going. They continue the faith, the harmony, the identity of polygamy. If those kids feel unwanted, if they lose respect for their father, the whole thing falls apart. And that's precisely what Christine suggested is already in progress. But there is another aspect to this. Christine's revelation wasn't simply a heads up to viewers, perhaps it was a message to Kody himself. Christine's always played chess, after all. She knows how her words are received. She knows the cameras magnify everything. And by going on so publicly, she might have been trying to send her former husband a message. You're losing the one thing you can never get back, the love and respect of your kids. Fans were going wild. Reddit posts blew up, with people posting hundreds of comments dissecting Christine's demeanor. Twitter lit up with questions like, did Christine just confirm that Kody has no real relationship with most of his kids? And YouTube fan channels dissected her statements frame by frame, looking for hidden meaning in her body language. Christine's reveal, in many ways, was more powerful than any dramatic fight we've ever seen on Sister Wives, because it wasn't about shouting or name-calling. It was about truth. And truth, whispered softly and with conviction, cuts deeper than any shouting match ever could. And that's why Christine's words have left fans reeling. Because if Kody has indeed lost his relationship with his children, if those ties are severed forever, then this isn't the breakdown of a marriage. It's the breakdown of a family dynasty that once purported to beat the odds. Christine's insider confession wasn't a throwaway line. It was a game changer in the Sister Wives narrative. And now, viewers can't help but wonder, if this is what Christine was prepared to release into the public domain, what secrets remain hidden beneath the surface? Kody's turbulent relationship with his children. If Christine's insider leak was the spark, then Kody's relationship with his children is the gasoline that continues the blaze. To really grasp the magnitude of what Christine revealed, we have to bring our focus to the long, tangled history between Kody and his children. A history characterized by love, to be sure, but also by building resentment. Bitter battles and injuries that can't be healed. For years, Kody had cast himself as the patriarch, the hub of the Brown family universe. He had one fantasy. He wanted to be head of a huge, homogeneous household in which his wives and kids respected him and obeyed his commandments. And in the first few seasons of Sister Wives, fans glimpsed that fantasy. He joked around with the younger children, boasted of being a dad, and looked forward to proving to everyone that polygamy could generate healthy, contented families. But along the way, that dream started to fall apart. The fissures began as small things. A child feeling overlooked here. Another quietly holding resentment for his absence there. And gradually these fissures deepened into canyons. And when the pandemic arrived, they burst open in a way that no one, including Kody himself, could deny. The COVID divide, the breaking point. The pandemic years were brutal on the Brown family. Kody's COVID rules were strict, stricter than some of his wives and kids could abide by. He demanded rigid protocols, and he expected loyalty to his guidelines first and foremost. The outcome? His children, particularly those with Christine and Janelle, felt abandoned. They blamed him for putting Robyn and her kids first and keeping everyone else on the outside. Kody's fans have not forgotten the bitter clash of wills between Gabriel and his father. Gabriel, fighting back tears, confessed that his dad had really faded from his life. That moment was a gut punch to viewers. A father and son who were close were now on opposite sides of an unbridgeable chasm. And then there was Garrison. His frustration boiled over, and he openly clashed with Kody, making it clear that he no longer recognized his father as the same man he once looked up to. Their fight became one of the most unforgettable moments in Sister Wives history, a moment that symbolized the crumbling bond between Kody and his children. Emotional absence. Beyond physical distance. Christine's insider spill validated what the fans had guessed for decades, that Kody's absence was not merely physical. It was emotional presence, or its lack thereof. Even when he was present in the same space, Kody tended to be distracted, preoccupied, or on defense regarding his own power as opposed to tending to his children's emotional needs. For the children, that absence was rejection. And rejection, when ongoing for years, crystallizes into bitterness. Christine has suggested that some of the children quit even attempting to contact. They felt it was pointless. Why call Dad if he wouldn't answer? Why share milestones because they'd be ignored? That silence became the deafening message of all. The relationship between Kody and many of his children was already severed. Control versus connection. It's a heartbreaking paradox at the core of Kody's struggle with his children. He craved control over connection. He insisted on respect, compliance, and allegiance, but children, particularly teenagers and young adults, desire love, empathy, and permission to be heard. When those desires conflicted, Kody stood firm. His way or no way. And by doing that, he drove his children away. His fans recall his notorious rants, in which he yelled about betrayal and disrespect. He blamed his children for being led astray by their mothers. He positioned himself as the victim, the wrongfully misunderstood patriarch, rather than the father who was not doing enough to bridge the gap. That defensive stance served only to widen the divide. Rather than patching up the fences, Kody torched them. Children taking sides. Christine's inside scoop put more weight behind something fans had already observed. Many of the children have already taken sides quietly. Christine's children pretty much take their mother's side. They've spoken publicly about feeling happier and freer since she left Kody. Janelle's children are divided but thoroughly wounded. Gabriel and Garrison have effectively cut off their father. Others walk on eggshells, aware the tension is volatile. Meri's child, Leon, has pursued independence and seems far removed from Kody's orbit altogether. Robyn's children, on the other hand, remain closely tied to Kody, fueling accusations of favoritism that Christine has subtly pointed to for years. This division isn't just sad, it's catastrophic for the idea of a unified Brown family. When kids have to choose sides, it's often because one of their parents has already fallen short of providing a secure environment where both can be loved. The question that haunts fans. And so what Christine said holds even more weight. What she said affirmed what everyone suspected, that the connection between Kody and his kids is broken irreparably. But the question remains, is this a wound that time can mend, or is it forever? Is there any way Kody can repair the trust he lost? Or has his need for control ruined him for the one thing he can never get back, the unconditional love of his children? Christine's reveal implies she does know the answer. And it's not the one fans want to hear. If the kids no longer view Kody as a father, if they only view him as the man who prioritized loyalty to one home over love for all, then Christine's inside scoop wasn't just commentary. It was prophecy. And that prediction casts a chilling vision of what lies ahead for the Brown family. Hidden secrets and backstage rumor-mongering. Christine's behind-the-scenes disclosure might have seemed innocuous on the surface, just a remark about Kody's dysfunctional relationship with his children. But don't kid yourself, it wasn't an offhand comment. It was calculated. And the more viewers analyze it, the more they discover Christine might have disclosed much more than she meant to. Or maybe just so much as she should have. Because this is the reality about Christine. She's not only a mom, not only a reality TV show participant. She's an insider. She was inside that family structure for almost 3 decades. She has every secret, every locked room argument, every veiled snub that didn't make it on camera. And when she finally breaks her silence, it's enhanced by authenticity that no outsider can possibly offer. The weight of Christine's words. Let's begin with tone. When Christine explained Kody's deteriorating relationship with the children, it wasn't done in anger. She did not lash out or rant. Rather, her tone was consistent, a combination of sorrow, resignation, and quiet conviction. That's what makes her words so haunting. This wasn't a woman ranting in the moment. This was a person looking back over years of habit, choice, and hurt. Someone who had had the space and time to reflect, and at last own up to what fans had long suspected. Christine's voice informs us that this was not an isolated fight or momentary issue. This was the result of years of emotional abandonment, favoritism, and intransigence on the part of Kody. And she knew her reveal would be like a bombshell. What Christine didn't say. But that's where the suspense thickens. Christine was diplomatic with her words. She talked about distance, about the bond snapping, but she didn't get into the nitty-gritty of the issues. She didn't detail each and every fight between Kody and his children. She didn't reiterate the hurtful things that viewers have witnessed in fiery arguments. She didn't blame and accuse not outright anyway. And that restraint was buzzworthy. Because when someone who knows it all keeps something back, it generally implies that the truth is darker than we can comprehend. Reddit and YouTube fans were eager to remind Christine of her hesitation, her sidelong glances, the way she exhaled before uttering some words. They believe she was hinting at more, at stories she can't share on camera, at scars too deep to expose fully, at truths that might forever alter how viewers see Kody Brown. Theories from behind the curtain speculation is running wild. Favoritism at a breaking point. Viewers are sure that Christine's reveal was her means of affirming that Kody's favoritism towards Robyn and the children is at the heart of it all. That what we witnessed through COVID was merely the tip of the iceberg, years of Kody channeling energy into one home while ignoring the others. Unseen battlegrounds. Some are convinced that there were battles between Kody and the children that never went on air. Blown-up fights that producers omitted, either to save the family's reputation or because the scenes were just too intense. Christine's revelation, in this school of thought, is a coded confirmation of those unseen struggles. Irreversible estrangement. Others are convinced that Christine is aware that Kody has permanently lost some of his children. That although fans are keeping their fingers crossed for a reconciliation, Christine is setting up the audience for the sorrowful truth. Not all of these relationships can be fixed. A message to the network. The darker theory holds that Christine's reveal may also serve as a message to TLC. By going public with the issues, Christine may be coercing the network to make these cracks the focus. So the story of Kody's breakdown becomes the focus of the show's subsequent seasons. The chess game of public image. What makes Christine's insider tips so intriguing is the way it cuts against Kody's own public image. Kody has long presented himself as the beleaguered patriarch, the one trying his best, the victim of infidelity, the one betrayed by wives who failed to keep their promises. His is a tale of control and justification. Christine's words puncture that persona. They reveal Kody not as the saintly leader he thinks he is, but as a failed father in the most significant role he ever had. And since Christine has nothing to lose, she's already out, remarried, and living her best life, her words are delivered with crippling impact. She doesn't require Kody's validation. She doesn't have to protect him anymore. And that liberation makes her truths deadly. The power of insider knowledge. Let's not underestimate the force of Christine as an insider. Viewers can guess. Bloggers can analyze. Fans can rage. But only Christine experienced it. Only Christine tucked her children in at bedtime after Kody avoided family events. Only Christine witnessed the tears of her children as their father made another household a priority. And that's why her revelation shocked fans like a bolt out of the blue. Because when that insider finally validates what the outsiders always knew, the truth is indisputable. It's not speculation anymore. It's not rumor anymore. It's testimony, the unanswered question. But the real suspense isn't in what Christine revealed. It's in what she held back. If Christine was willing to share this much publicly, what truths are still locked away? Did Kody's favoritism cause specific betrayals we'll never hear about? Were there moments of rejection so painful that Christine can't bear to speak them aloud? Have some kids cut ties so completely that they actually feel estranged? Christine's insider tip made viewers squirm not because of what she told us, but because of the unsettling idea that it could be worse. That's what makes us continue to watch. Because if only Christine is keeping secrets, only leaving us hints, the mystery remains. And in that mystery, the most chilling question of all, if this is what Christine was prepared to show us, what terrors are still locked away behind closed doors? Christine didn't just expose Kody's issues. She reminded us that what you see on television isn't the whole picture. The rest, the undeclared wars, the unshed tears, the broken vows, are shut behind the doors of a family that is no longer complete. Family dynamics in crisis. The Brown family has ever been a knotty web of personalities, allegiance, and competition. On paper, it was designed to function as a team, 4 women united by religion, children tied together by common family bonds, and one man standing at the center as the authority figure. But anyone who has watched Sister Wives realizes that this fantasy has become a storm of broken bonds and alternative narratives. Christine's insider confession about Kody's shattered relationship with his kids didn't only illuminate him as a dad. It also amplified the roles of all of the women in this collapsing saga. Because each of the wives, Meri, Janelle, Robyn, and Christine herself, has contributed to how this crisis was lived. And together they create a picture of a family in freefall. The forgotten wife. Let's begin with Meri. Originally Kody's first and lawful wife, Meri entered this journey with the most senior spot. However, years later, she had become the most isolated, the most emotionally forsaken, and the most sorrowful character in the Sister Wives saga. Years went by while fans observed Meri existing on the periphery. Her emotional relationship with Kody unraveled a long time before Christine walked out, and the notorious catfishing scandal was the last straw for their marriage. Kody confessed outright that he no longer had a sexual relationship with Meri, a humiliating shaming for all to see on national television. So where does Meri feature in the children crisis? In one sense, she doesn't, and that is the tragedy. Her distance from Kody left her equally distant from many of the kids. She was neither a bridge nor a barrier. She was simply left out, her voice silenced in family decisions, her presence more symbolic than impactful. But Meri's silence speaks volumes. She is the cautionary tale of what happens when connection dies completely. If Christine's unveiling revealed Kody losing his children, Meri is evidence of what's next: complete disconnect. The loyal ally turned rebel, then there's Janelle. Janelle was Kody's logistics partner for years, the pragmatic, level-headed wife who assisted with finances, homes, and family chores. She wasn't emotional Christine or withdrawn Meri. She was consistent, reliable, faithful. But faithfulness has boundaries. As Kody's relationship with the children started to disintegrate, Janelle was put in an impossible situation. She witnessed her kids suffering. She listened to Gabriel and Garrison's rage. She watched Kody impose loyalty tests that required them to choose him or their freedom. And step by step, she started taking her kids' side. The breakthrough occurred during COVID. Janelle publicly disobeyed Kody's rigid rules, prioritizing her children. And when Gabriel lost it on camera, sharing with the world how abandoned he felt by his dad, Janelle's expression spoke louder. She was finished covering for Kody. Now, after Christine's exit, Janelle is tightrope walking too. She hasn't actually left like Christine, but her loyalty has crumbled. Her kids' hurt has tugged at her away from Kody's control, and Christine's revelation only speaks the truth about what Janelle has been experiencing. Janelle is the voice of the kids. And if she's joining Christine, then the lines are drawn. It's the mothers and children against Kody and Robyn, the controversial queen. And then there's Robyn, the one person fans love to vilify, the lightning rod for accusations of favoritism, and the only wife who still holds on tight to Kody. Robyn came into the family later than the others, but her connection with Kody was instant, passionate, and unique. Fans quickly picked up on the fact that Kody treated Robyn with a gentleness he only infrequently bestowed on the others. He sought her advice, championed her, and ultimately made her a legal wife when he left Meri. To Christine and Janelle's kids, this favoritism was in your face. They watched as their dad spent holidays with Robyn, shield her children, and bend for her in ways he never did for them while clamping down on everybody else. And as much as Robyn possibly didn't mean to, she became the face of the split. Christine's inside scoop, coupled with Robyn's position, is like validation of fan theory. Kody has constructed a barrier around Robyn and her kids, and in the process has isolated everyone else. But Robyn is more than just a wife. She's also a mom, and that her children are so close to Kody just points out the inconsistency. If he can show up for Robyn's children, why not Christine's or Janelle's? That inequality is the hurt that Christine's words tore right open. The truth teller who walked away. At last, we come to Christine herself, the woman who escaped, the woman who created a new life, and who is now using her voice to tell the truth. Christine was the pioneer. She did not want to live in a marriage in which she felt unwanted and unloved. She put her children's happiness ahead of Kody's dominance, and she quit, an act that rocked the family and sparked surges of fan approval. Her insider scoop on Kody and the children is more than just commentary. It's part of her overall job as the truth teller. Christine has made herself the one wife who will speak out loud what others dance around. And now with her speaking out, she's done more than just outed Kody. She's validated the children who felt invisible, lent voice to Janelle's agony, and confirmation to fans that their worst fears were correct all along. A family torn in 4 directions. So what does this all do for the family dynamics? It creates chaos. Meri is on the outside looking in, emotionally disconnected. Janelle is caught between duty and hurting her children. Robyn holds on for dear life to Kody, her status secure but contentious. Christine is gone and now speaks with the clarity of distance. The outcome? A family torn in 4 disparate directions, each wife representing a different phase of loss, rebellion, or denial. And in the middle of it all is Kody, a guy who used to think he was going to be able to keep it all together, now encircled by the shards of relationships he can't mend. Christine's insider scoop wasn't merely that Kody lost his children. It was that a family dynamic spun so far out of whack that reconciliation might no longer be an option. 4 women, almost 24 children, and 1 man at the center, observing the empire he created collapsing from the inside out. Public reactions and fan theories. Christine's insider leak didn't merely send shockwaves through the Sister Wives fandom, it exploded like a bomb. Within a matter of hours of her statements, social media erupted in shock, outrage, sympathy, and speculation. Fans who had been following the Browns for more than a decade suddenly saw their worst nightmares come true. The rifts in Kody's relationship with his children were no longer rumor. They were reality. And when a family has lived under public scrutiny for as long as the Browns, fans don't merely observe. They scrutinize, they pick apart, and they draw conclusions that are almost as good as those of detectives. Christine's bombshell provided them new ammunition, and the ensuing theories have left audiences wondering, is this the end of Sister Wives as we know it? Twitter X explodes on Twitter. The response was quick and furious. Hashtags such as Sister Wives shocker and Kody loses his kids trended as fans took their turn. One commented, Christine just verified what we've been yelling years. Kody ditched his kids. It's not editing, it's not rumor. It's real. Another tweeter wrote, Robyn's kids get everything. Christine and Janelle's kids get nothing. No wonder Christine walked. A third tweet went viral. Watching Gabe cry about his dad broke me. Christine's reveal proves Kody will never fix this. The sentiment was raw and the message was clear. Christine's reveal did not shock fans. It confirmed them. Reddit goes into overdrive. Reddit communities, particularly on our Sister Wives, went into overdrive with talk. Whole posts were spent analyzing Christine's language, her tone, and even her body language. Fans analyzed her silences, speculating on what she wasn't saying. Others shared timelines linking Christine's words to previous battles between Kody and the children. Many imagined that Christine was teasing fans for even bigger revelations yet to come. One very popular comment stated, Christine is the only one speaking the truth. TLC keeps Kody's reputation safe, but she just confirmed the family is so much more dysfunctional than what we get to watch on television. Another posted, see how Christine never says names? That's because the hurt is so bad she doesn't even have to. We already do. Christine's announcement also brought on a surge of reaction videos on YouTube. Fan creators posted vids within hours with these types of titles. Christine exposes Kody's broken bond. What it means for Sister Wives. Is this the end? Christine's reveal shocks. Sister Wives fans. Kody's kids speak out. The truth behind Christine's comments. These deconstructs amassed tens of thousands of views, demonstrating how much fans craved breakdowns. Christine's reveal was not a mere comment, it became a movement. The theories fans can't stop disclosing. But here's where it gets even more juicy. The fan theories. Christine's insider disclosure didn't put an end to it. It opened the floodgates. The favoritism theory. The most popular theory is also the most glaring one. Kody's overt favoritism for Robyn and her children is what killed his relationship with the rest of them. Supporters contend that Christine's reveal was in effect confirmation that this favoritism wasn't merely perception, it was reality. The lost children. Theory. Some believe some of the older children are already irretrievably estranged from Kody. Christine's statement was interpreted as a warning shot, a method of acclimating viewers to the reality that reconciliation would never occur. The TLC editing theory. Another theory is that Christine's reveal is evidence TLC has been covering Kody's image for years. Fans believe producers have edited or omitted footage that would further make him appear worse as a father. Christine's remark, they say, was her effort to reveal what the cameras did not. The Robyn shield theory. Certain followers believe Robyn is not just a beloved wife, she's actually protecting Kody from having to deal with his failures. By defending him and being loyal to him, she allows him to disown his accountability. Christine's reveal, therefore, was intended to shatter that shield. The future collapse theory. A more ominous fan theory proposes Christine's reveal is the start of the end, not only for the relationships of Kody, but for the series overall. If the children won't appear on camera and the family keeps fracturing, Sister Wives as a series may implode. The emotional undercurrent. What makes the reaction so effective isn't necessarily the theory. It's the emotion. Viewers care about this family. They've grown up with the kids. They've rooted for Christine, commiserated with Janelle, and mourned with Meri. For them, Christine's secret wasn't rumor. It was a heart-shattering admission that the kids they've come to support all these years have been disappointed by the one person they should have been able to trust, their dad. Which is why the reactions are so intense. Because to the fans, this isn't television. This is real people, real suffering, and real repercussions. The fan divide. Not everyone does agree, however. Some come to Kody's defense, saying that Christine's bitterness tints her view. They say Kody's COVID rules were fair, that his conflicts with his children are dramatized, and Christine is perpetuating fan anger. This rift generates even greater conversation, spurring controversy on every platform. And in the YouTube algorithm, that controversy is gold. Each comment, each argument, each emotional response generates engagement. Christine's reveal didn't merely unveil a family secret. It provided fans with a lens, a means to view the Brown family not as a reality TV narrative, but as a tragedy in real time. And if the theories are even half correct, then the worst can still be yet to come. Sister Wives' dream shatters. This was no ordinary reality show when Sister Wives began in 2010. This was a cultural experiment. TLC brought us into a world most had heard of only in whispers, contemporary polygamy. And the Browns weren't supposed to be a tale of dysfunction. No, they were to be evidence. Evidence that plural marriage did work, that one man could juggle more than one wife, and dozens of children could be raised in a home founded on love and religion. For years, the Brown family embraced that vision. They painted the picture of unity, strength, and devotion. There were difficulties, jealousy, rivalry, logistical meltdown. But at its core, the message was unmistakable. We might be different, but our family functions. But now, with Christine's behind-the-scenes revelation, the facade is broken. The dream versus the reality. Christine's statements had finally vindicated what seasons of episodes had been teasing. The dream of Sister Wives has come crashing down under its own terms. The concept of one man being able to split his time, love, and attention equitably between 4 wives and close to 24 children was never a realistic one. The wives became resentful. The children felt neglected. The favoritism became obvious. And what began as a tale of togetherness turned into a case study of emotional neglect and broken relationships. Christine's announcement that Kody lost his connection with his kids was the final blow. Because if the kids, the very backbone of this family, are gone, then there is no Sister Wives' dream to fight for. Kody's legacy on the line for Kody. This fall is greater than individual. It's historic. He built his life around proving something to the world, that plural marriage could thrive. He invited cameras into his home, believing his story would inspire. But what happens when the world no longer sees him as an inspiring father, but as a man whose children openly resent him? What happens when the leader of the family empire can no longer hold his empire together? Christine's reveal makes us reconsider Kody's legacy. He might not be known as the guy who made polygamy mainstream, He might be known as the guy who lost control, drove away the people he cared about most, and whose dream disintegrated in front of millions of people. The fracturing of the family. It's not just about Christine leaving. It isn't even just about Janelle's wavering loyalty or Meri's decades of emotional exile. It's about the ripple effect on the children. The kids once represented hope, living proof that the Brown family structure could work. But now they represent division. Christine's children stand with her. Janelle's children, particularly Gabriel and Garrison, openly resist Kody. Even Meri's only child, Leon, has distanced themselves. The only children solidly in Kody's corner are Robyn's. What does that say? It says the family isn't a whole anymore. It's factions. It's alliances. It's resentment carried on from generation to generation. And Christine's bombshell wasn't solely about Kody losing his children in the moment. It was about the generational failure of a family construct that was never constructed to endure. The brand collapses. Let's not forget that Sister Wives is a brand. It's a TV empire, and Christine's statements put that empire in danger. Because if the show can no longer pretend to be about unity, then what is it about? If the children won't come on camera because of shattered relationships, then what story is left to tell? The fans are already wondering, is Sister Wives ending? And Christine's revelation only serves to fan those flames. After all, how long can a plural marriage-based show go on when plural marriage itself is imploding right before our very eyes? The prophecy in Christine's words. What makes Christine's revelation so heart-wrenching is that it doesn't only paint the current picture. It foretells the future. If Kody is unable to mend his relationship with his children, then his family's narrative ceases not in harmony, but in disintegration. The fantasy he peddled to America will be what people remember, not as a triumph, but as a cautionary tale. That you cannot spread love so thin over so many that somebody gets left behind. And maybe that's Christine's ultimate contribution to the world. In going public, she's not merely outing Kody's failures. She's exposing the truth of the Sister Wives experiment. That beneath the smiles, beneath the rhetoric, beneath the faith, the cracks were always there. A dream reduced to ashes. So where does that leave us now? It leaves us with a family split down the middle. It leaves us with children who no longer look at their father with love, but with resentment. It leaves us with wives who no longer believe in unity, but competition and heartache. It leaves us with viewers who once watched for inspiration, now viewing a tragedy in slow motion. Christine's reveal made it clear, Sister Wives is no longer about creating a dream. It's about observing the remnants of that dream be blown away. And if the Sister Wives dream is already dead, then Christine's inside scoop wasn't a shock. It was the obituary, the point of no return. All stories have a breaking point, that one moment when there is no turning back, no rebuilding what has been lost. For the Brown family, Christine's insider disclosure is like the signal fire that says to us, we are here. The point of no return. For years, fans held on to hope. Hope that in spite of the jealousy, the favoritism, and the constant brawls, the Brown children would be stuck to their dad. Hope that Kody, all these imperfections and all, would somehow make it all right. Hope that the Sister Wives' dream might weather the storms. But Christine's words cut through that hope like a knife. Her measured, calm revelation wasn't merely conflict, it was destruction. An estranged father from his children. A scattered family into factions. A dream smoldering to ashes. And in Sister Wives' world, that destruction feels definitive. The breaking bonds. When Christine talked about Kody's shattered relationships with the children, it wasn't merely in reference to the here and now. It was about a path. A gradual disintegration that culminated in breaking point a long time ago. See Gabriel's tear-filled confrontation? That wasn't the beginning of a rift. It was the end of years of estrangement. See Garrison's rebellion? That was not teenage angst, it was the wail of a son who felt forsaken by his father. Observe the passive silences of other kids, who no longer even make an effort to show up on camera. These are not random incidents. They're symptoms of a breakdown that Christine attested is not merely real but permanent. The irreversible divide. The fact is, some wounds do not heal, particularly when they are about trust. Kids who feel abandoned seldom forget that hurt. Sons who felt overlooked during milestones, daughters who saw their father choose another family, these wounds do not heal with time. Christine's confession suggested something sinister. Kody has lost his children not just in the moment. He might have lost them for good. And that is the real point of no return. Because once kids redefine father not as protector but as stranger, reconciliation is nearly impossible. The domino effect. What makes this fall so tragic is the domino effect. Christine has left. Her kids are solid with her, shutting Kody out of their lives more and more. Janelle is on the brink. Her children openly disobey their father, and she defends them. Meri is emotionally gone. Her son has distanced himself entirely, and she is now isolated from Kody's life. Robyn clings desperately to him. She gets to keep Kody, but the burden of being the last wife standing only fuels fan resentment. It's not one relationship that's been severed. It's the whole family system, crumbling piece by piece like dominoes toppling in slow motion. Christine's insider scoop merely verified the inevitable. The fall has already commenced. The father who lost his place at its core. This finale isn't so much about polygamy, religion, or even reality television. It's about fatherhood. Kody had once prided himself on being the father of 18 kids. He wore it as a badge of pride, evidence of his virility, his strength, his leadership. But if a badge is tarnished, what's the value in it? What use is a number when most of those children don't want you around anymore? Christine's words took away from Kody the one title that was most important. Not patriarch, not husband, father. And once that designation is lost in the hearts of your children, it can never really be regained. The moment of no return. Well, here we are. A father estranged from his sons. Daughters who no longer trust him. Wives who've walked out in body or spirit. A family dream gone up in flames. Christine's insider scoop wasn't just a remark. It was a pronouncement. A confirmation that the Brown family has hit the point of no return. And for viewers, that epiphany is heartbreaking and addictive. Because what we're watching isn't merely the gradual demise of a family. It's the sort of tragedy that keeps us riveted to the television, desperate to know how much lower the implosion will descend. This is the moment everything shifts. The moment when the dream dies, and the truth cannot be concealed. Kody has not only lost control of his family, he's lost the one thing no father can lose. His children. And once they're lost, they'll never be found again. And that's why Christine's twist is so significant. It isn't surprising, it's predictive. Viewers know what's coming next. More children will drift away. More friendships will break apart. More secrets will leak out. And still, the question lingers. How far will the meltdown go? Which kid is next to say something? Will Janelle finally exit? Will Robyn's wall finally break? Because when a family hits rock bottom, the question that remains is how hard the crash will be. Christine's insider bombshell and Kody's shattered relationship with his kids is not a plot for a reality show. It is a tragedy, a lesson, and a warning. And after all the heartache, the tension, the allegations, and the breakdown, there's only one thing left to wonder. What next? That's where you, the audience, the public, the viewers who have been following this family for more than a decade, enter. Because Sister Wives isn't about the Browns any longer. It's about us all watching the breakup in real time, dissecting each word, and attempting to understand what is going on with this once unified family. So I want to know from you, do you think Christine's inside scoop is the complete story? Or merely the tip of the iceberg? Has Kody lost his kids for good already? Or is there still a glimmer of hope for a reunion? Do you believe Janelle will officially walk away next? Or will Robyn's loyalty be the staying power to keep Kody afloat? And the biggest question of all, is this the end of Sister Wives as we know it? Share your thoughts, theories, and feelings in the comments below. I watched all of them, and believe me, the highlight of this channel is watching how fans interact, argue, and create this discussion amongst themselves. Your comment might be the one that inspires an entire new discussion in the next video. If Christine's reveal surprised you as much as it surprised me, hit that like button. It may seem small, but every single like tells YouTube that this story matters, that fans are invested, and that the world needs to see the truth about what's happening inside the Brown family. Think of it like this. Every like is a signal, an indication that you're of this clan, that you're here for the raw, uncensored deconstructions, and that you won't let the truth remain concealed. And if you don't mind, hit the subscribe button and strike the notification bell. Because let's be honest, this is only the beginning. Christine's inside scoop may be the climax, but believe me, there are more explosive revelations in store. More kids are going to speak up. More cracks are going to show. More secrets are going to spill out. And on this channel is where we break it all down. No sugarcoating, no hiding behind TLC editing, and no holding back. When you subscribe, you're not just watching videos. You're joining a community that thrives on truth, analysis, and the suspense that keeps all of us coming back. And here's the thing. Christine's reveal isn't the last shocker. There are whispers of more drama ahead, whispers about Kody's strained ties with Janelle's children, whispers about Robyn's role in holding him up, and whispers about whether TLC can even keep Sister Wives alive without its core family intact. That's the next tale we're about to take a journey into. And you don't want to miss it. So subscribe, tap that bell, and get ready. Because if you think Christine's reveal was explosive, wait until you see what's coming next. Last but not least, let me just say, thank you. Seriously. Whether you've been here since season 1 or you just happened across this video tonight, your support is what keeps this channel going. The Brown family can fall apart all they want, but the community that we've created here is as strong as ever. We're building together piece by piece the truth, calling out the Browns for what they've done and keeping this story alive. So thanks for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. You're part of something bigger than just a channel. You're part of the truth-telling movement. This story isn't over. It's only just beginning. Christine's insider reveal was the first domino. And now, the question isn't whether Kody will lose his children. The question is, how far will the fall go? Stick with me because together we're going to find out.